Okay, Mr. Johnson, this PowerPoint that we're looking at right now is already in your weekly slides. It's on slide 5, and this is the link. I'm going to make an anchor chart that also connects to this, but I do want you to use this with them on day 1. The reason I'm doing this video is so you have some of the tips and tricks that I've used with this in the past. So guys, remember, text features are the parts of a text. Now, the reason we have text features is because with fiction or fake stories, it's easy to imagine it in our brain. But nonfiction are real things, kind of like polar bears and puffins and tigers and armadillos and all different types of things, or Antarctica. And if you've never seen those things before, it's hard to imagine things that are real that you've not seen before. So that's why we have text features. Now, let's talk about one of the most important ones today. So the first one I'm going to talk to you about is the table of contents. Here's how I'd like you to remember that. Remember, before you sit down to eat dinner, Mom often likes you to set the table. Set the table with napkins, silverware, dishes, things like that before you actually eat. The reason I want you to remember that is because just like you have to set the table first before you eat, the table of contents also comes first before you actually read the story, because it's going to show you or tell you a little about, it's like a preview, like a movie preview. It's going to tell you what is to come, some of the topics you're going to read about. Okay? Bold print, these are words that are in bold, meaning they're a little darker than other words. The reason that they're darker is because they're usually vocabulary words that they think you might not know and will need a little help with. Headings and subheadings. Now, headings and subheadings are both just another way of saying they're titles. Usually big headings you would have no problem identifying. It's kind of like the title of a story. Subheadings are a little trickier. So notice here, law enforcement jobs, that's the main heading, the big heading. But these are subheadings, and we know the word sub means under or below, kind of like subway is a train under the ground. Submarine is a ship under the water. These are titles or headings under the main title. All right, photograph, that's pretty easy, right? A photograph. An illustration is just a drawing. Sometimes that can be confusing if they ask you about an illustration versus a drawing. Just know a photograph is an actual something like you clicked with a camera. An illustration is something somebody drew. Okay. A caption, remember, are those words underneath a photo. These words are always going to be describing or helping you understand what's happening in a photo. So they're really important. A map is like what you see here. It shows you where something is located, a place, and usually a map is given to help you understand where something will happen or has happened. A diagram. Diagrams are always to show you the parts of something. For example, in this case, we have a helicopter, and it's showing you the different parts of the helicopter. They even label the different parts, like the rear motor, the cabin. They might show you the parts of a bicycle and the different things that make it a bicycle. They might show you the parts of a flower, and they'll show you the roots and the stem and the petals. Okay, so diagrams are the parts of something, and they show you the parts with these things called labels. All right, a graph, anything with numbers. Okay, a graph is anything with numbers. For instance, how many kids in Glen Elementary like strawberry versus how many kids like chocolate versus how many kids like ice cream? Maybe there's 100 kids who like chocolate, 60 who like strawberry, and 20 who like vanilla. Those have to do with numbers. Remember, graphs always have to do with numbers. Last, this is a really important one and the hardest one for kids to remember, the index. Repeat this after me. Ivan index identifies pages. So Ivan index, our friend here, Ivan, is always at the back of the book. He's always at the back of the book, and he helps you find which pages you can go back to learn more about a specific topic. We're going to talk about that more later this week. And our last one is Gary Glossary. Say it after me. Gary Glossary gives good words. Gary